Hell is an actual place. It does not reside in our mortal dimension as we know it, but it is real, and it is not what it used to be. A plane of madness and strife, ruin, destruction, and rubble. There are those who seek to claim hell for their own and restore order, while others just want to watch it all burn.
Hello folks, and welcome to Dice Chatter. My name is Donnie, and today we are going to try out some Rain in Hell. This hack and slash tabletop skirmish game has been on my radar for some time, and I am excited to move some demons and devils around on the board. Though before we get into the game, we need to cover the two warbands, or in this case, cabals, that will be fighting it out in the ruins of these demonic lands. So, without further ado, let's dive in. Goro, the Lord of Blights, and her devout demon, Greg, will hopefully continue to spread madness and chaos in the ruins of hell. They follow the philosophy of the Demented and believe hell was made for one reason: suffering, and they intend to make good on this ideal. Joining them in this quest are a couple of fungal humanoids who will be used as spine demons ready to charge into battle. A Mephit will spring over to objectives with her immense speed, and a pair of odd bulbous monstrosities will be used as tentacle beasts. Thorax of Iron and his devout demon, Reginald, plan to take the Lords of Hell philosophy to a whole new level. Returning this plane of existence to one of order is key, and they have a number of allies to assist them. A corpulent demon of flames, an armored creature of red and orange, a slaughter fiend to lay waste to his enemies, a spine demon to charge into battle, and a couple Mephits to move swiftly around the table. All of the models in combat today are from the following miniature manufacturers. Since I tend to get a good amount of comments asking where some of these resin and plastic sculpts are from, take a screenshot if you are so inclined. For the scenario today, we'll be playing King of the Hill. Both players will be battling over an important piece of terrain, this massive skull. Control of this skull is essential if one cabal is to win this match. The game will last 5 rounds, and whichever squad has more models on the terrain piece by the end of those rounds will be crowned victor. Simple as that. For those of you who have yet to try out Rain in Hell, I'm hoping the information on screen and voiced by yours truly will give you a general understanding of how the game functions on the tabletop. There are lots of dice rolls in this title, and to reduce the massive amount of information on screen, most of these rolls will be done off camera. For me, this helps facilitate a more smooth and streamlined battle report, while hopefully still giving enough information to you, the viewer. If there is something that you feel should be shown on screen, let me know in the comments, and I will give it some good consideration. So, with all of the pre-game ramblings out of the way, let's take a journey down into the depths of hell. To begin round 1, both cabals will roll a series of d12s to determine who will activate first. The highest number starts the round. Each descending number follows suit. Goro has the opportunity to use the Maddening Insight ability and will re-roll some of their initiative dice, making good use of this ability. The Demented will start the game activating their 12 and 11 with a couple moves up the battlefield. Both spine demons will shamble and shift forward towards the center of the table. Thorax will take the next move, showing his allies where they need to go in order to achieve victory. He will use the 10 for his activation die, and then we move on to the next lowest number. Goro, the Lord of Blights, will use its fungal activation, moving its 8 inches towards the central skull. This demented cult of fungi needs to spread madness throughout the plane of existence. Otherwise, there is no existence for the Demented. Following these moves, demon after demon continues to activate, shifting and clawing around this mysterious landscape. Both cabals move models towards the central hill, needing to claim its stake for their cause. Not an easy task when everyone is thirsting for combat. Every model is in place and is set to go for round 2. All of those d12s are taken back into the clutches of the Demented and the Lords of Hell, preparing their demons for another round in the heat of battle. Initiative is rolled once again, and it seems the faction ability for the Demented is really putting in some work with all of those 12s. They will have the first 3 activations this turn, starting with 2 tentacle beasts. These horde creatures manage to get themselves on the hill. Hopefully their high health will give them control through turn 5. And also, we can't forget about the wavy arm Mephit, who will fly high atop the Tower of Stone and Bone. Another demon sits king on the hill for Goro and the Demented. The Lords of Hell now have 2 fiends to activate. The armored demon will shift forward, slowly making his way to the skull, while Reginald has a different plan and will charge into the tentacle beast and commence some combat. Charging increases the devout demon's attack, but the grappling arms ability from the tentacle beast negates that bonus. The shield of Reginald slams into the scythe-holding demonoid, causing 3 damage to the beast. Greg and a number of other demons on the table will move and reposition. The Mephit will get high up on top of the hill, claiming it for his cabal. Goro decides to try and take control of the backside of the skull, and shortly after, a spine demon from each squad will move onto the battlefield. All the while, a Mephit will decide to complete a running skirmish, moving up to Goro and attacking the enemy leader. This combat modifier was not favorable for the Mephit as he cannot cut into the leader's flesh, but the speedy monster can still finish its move, landing up atop of the hill. To finish off the round, the last 4 models left on the table will take the move action, closing in on other demons or the Skull Shrine. Both cabals have some models set on the hill, but I feel in this next round it will really showcase the combative nature of this game. Time to gather up all those D12s again and roll into turn number 3. The outcomes of initiative seem to be split pretty evenly for the initial handful of activations, but mid-round should be very chaotic. The Demented won the roll-off and will begin turn 3 with the Mephit sitting high atop the wooden scaffold. It will focus its combat on the red demon in front of her. This boosts her combat stat until the next time it activates. This little bonus allows our green hag to smack into the other creature, dealing a few points of damage. Thorax will now get to go and decides to charge into Greg, the Madness Demon. Though the Lord of Hell leader forgot about this demon's once per round ability, Infected with Madness. This changes the leader's combat score to a 3, massively shifting the outcome of this fight. Greg only takes a measly 2 points of damage. A tentacle beast then slithers forward, charging into Reginald. This creature is merely a worm on the sidewalk to an unsuspecting foot, but the devout demon does take a minor bump, and I'm sure he will get some payback in a moment. The Slaughter Fiend will take its action, charging towards Goro and initiating combat. Goro would potentially take a good amount of damage here if this creature had the chance to strike, but our leader is quite tricky. Using the Master Manipulator ability, Goro will use an unspent initiative die and get to move up the wall of octagonal stone and make footing on the hill. All the while, the Slaughter Fiend claws at nothing but the air. The Fungoid Zombie will charge forward, taking advantage of the Spine Demon ability. This gives a bonus to rolling for the demon on the offensive, and it seems to have found a weak spot, dealing 5 damage into the creature. The Lords of Hell have the next 3 activations, and Reginald will start things off by focusing on the tentacle beast who is yet to activate and attack the demon. His spear pierces through the heart of the beast, and one of Goro's models is defeated. And with this death, the Lords collect a soul die, rolling a 1. They can exchange this die for any other d6 during the game, a very fancy ability. The other 2 moves will be had by the slow boys in the group. The armored demon and the guy on fire will get right next to the hill, but not have the speed to climb up the rocks. The Demented have 2 more activations this round, and the Spine Demon will go first, charging into the damaged Slaughter Fiend. With the awesome Impaling Charge ability, the demon hits the Slaughter Fiend so well, it eliminates the model from play. A soul die will go to Goro this time, and a 3 is sitting in her back pocket. And let's not forget about Greg, who will disengage from the terrifying leader and hop on the objective with his tentacle beast ally. For the final few activations, both red Mephits will charge and fly into the wavy arm lady. Both separate strikes end up dealing out 6 damage, leaving the demon on 1 hit point. The red ball of fun will also charge, getting into combat with the tentacle beast. Teeth and claw mash into the blue-green demon, and he ends up taking a few points of damage. This will get us to the end of round 3. For models on the hill, we have 3 stationed for the Lords of Hell Cabal, though the Demented have a total of 4. We shall see if their tough hides can keep them on the hill through the next 2 rounds. Goro gets to start the round once again, giving the tentacle beast the first move, who will focus up and then attack the red blob in front of him. A bit of damage goes into the spine demon as his defenses block a few intestine strikes. For Thorax, the corpulent demon will slowly climb up the hill and feel extremely out of breath. Not the quickest demon on the board. Over to a pair of Goro's spine demons, who will take a chance charging towards the armored demon on the table. This creature has the ability to chains a defense die to a 6, which makes it a save. And good thing it did, as both of these fungal beasts deal a total of 5 hit points to the creature. Back topside, one of the red mephits will slash down with its claws, focusing on each strike, and manages to eliminate the enemy fighter. A soul is consumed once again, and Thorax welcomes another die. Goro will take the next turn. The leader will charge over and attack the monster of flames. A decent amount of damage goes into the demon, losing 5 hit points. Though now a series of activations for Thorax, who will start things off charging up and get behind Greg. Greg will, of course, use his once per round ability, Maddening Insight, changing Thorax's combat attack to a 3. This massive decrease only allows a point of damage to go into the demon. And on top of this, a triple 4 was rolled for Greg. This unpredictable defense ability of the Demented slams back 4 damage into the Lords of Hell leader. Quite an interesting combat. Of course, Reginald will go on the offensive, focusing everything into the tentacle beast. Combat ratings are adjusted to 8 and 5 respectively, and the Devout Demon ends the game for another Demented model. Another soul is consumed, giving the Lords 3 total soul dice to play around with. The Spine Demon then sees an opening and will charge into Greg. Damage flies in both directions thanks again to the unpredictable defense ability, and the red squig takes 4 retaliation damage from the charge, killing the beast. The soul die is captured, once again, for Goro. For the rest of the 4th round, Greg will attempt to damage Thorax, with no success on his part. He doesn't seem to hit all that hard. All the while, a mephit upstairs will stay put on top of the hill, and the armored demon will try to poke his pointy pinhead at one of the spine demons. Again, another unsuccessful bout of damage. At the end of round 4, the Demented player sees no reason to continue. The Lords of Hell have 5 strong and stout models sitting on the hill, with no chance of being destroyed. The Demented don't even have 5 models left on the battlefield. The Lords of Hell, once again, sit atop the throne. Unfortunately for Goro, the hill was won by her opponent. A few of her demons bit the dust, and fortunately for them, they came out clean. The mephit was even able to boost up its combat score by 1. Though for the Cabal, no other treasure, relics, or abilities were acquired searching the ruins of Hell. I hope you all enjoyed the battle report. This is one of those few times on the channel I've been able to showcase a new tabletop game. There are so many other neat titles that pique my interest, though so little time. The best way to help inform me if this Reign in Hell campaign is something you'd like to see more of, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Or even better, hop on over to my Patreon and join all these wonderful folks who have been helping dig the trenches. Because wargaming and terrain building is where it's at. Until next time, folks, I want to thank you all for watching, and of course, happy gaming.